good when my bad thoughts are understood. Karate chop anxiety and watch it play inside it. Cause going insane is just a party in the brain. You can have a good time, but baby, don't drink and drive. If you get
In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this edition of
Beyond the Doughnut.
Thumpasaurus.
Yeah, some good morals in that song.
Yeah, I love that. You gotta do your mental karate, especially in this time where maybe those negative thoughts are flying at you. You just gotta chop them.
Chop them away.
Chop them away. All right, top stories today. Trump, he spoke at the USNS Comfort. This boat has arrived in New York, and patients without disease are going to be utilizing this for, non-coronavirus related medical procedures and whatnot. 70,000 ton message of hope is what he said. But then he kind of went off on this tangent about possibly quarantining New York, Connecticut, New Jersey as their hotspots. What does that mean, Garrett, when he says quarantine New York? What, like, we're in a lockdown right now, but I'm not really, I don't understand how everybody could be quarantined.
Well, you're not the only one confused. To start, this is what President Trump said. We're thinking about certain things. Some people would like to see New York quarantined because it's a hotspot. We might have to do it, but there's a possibility that sometime today we'll do a quarantine, short term, 2 weeks on New York. Probably New Jersey, certain parts of Connecticut. He goes on, I'd rather not do it, but we may need it. Later he tweeted, decision will be made, one way or another, shortly. Now, again, you are not the only one confused by that statement. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo said that he spoke with Trump in the morning, but the two had not discussed a quarantine. Governor Cuomo states, I don't even know what that means. I don't know how that could be legally enforceable. He goes on, and from a medical point of view, I don't know what you'd be accomplishing. Trump came back a little later, and his response was that a quarantine was possible and he would restrict travel outside from those parts of the tri-state area, referring to their hotspots. This would not affect truckers from outside the New York area. Trump then states, restrict travel because they're having problems down in Florida. A lot of New Yorkers are going down. We don't want that.
Yeah, so we see Andrew and Trump just not really on the same basis there.
Nope, a little bit of confusion. So as that unfolds, we'll continue reporting.
Okay, well, next in the news, we've got a judge, Dolly G. of the Central District of California. Now, she's really fighting to free unaccompanied minors. 3 children under the care of the Office of Refugee Settlement. They've contracted COVID-19, and what this judge is saying is that these children need to be released to suitable sponsors in an orderly fashion. And she was reported this to the Associated Press. I'm reading this from NPR. She also questioned why children are still being held as the number of U.S. coronavirus cases leads the global outbreak. The motion for temporarily restraining and order limiting the Trump administration's ability to detain minors for no more than 7 days was filed on Thursday, and this is the latest in a legal battle that is really long-running class. So basically, we want these children to be taken care of. These children have been detained, and if there's outbreaks going on and we can find suitable sponsorship for them, it would make sense to let these children go and let them be released during this pandemic.
Absolutely. There's no reason to put them in danger just because their nationality is not American.
Yeah. Okay. So we probably need to get a little bit of weigh-in from maybe my aunt, who's an immigration lawyer, or we can go back to Danilo. So reaching out to those two people to give us a full report on the migration crisis during this pandemic. All right. Awesome. Well, let's jump on to a different topic. This is going to be more local and it's more solution based. Emerald May, we met her recently over at Kilowatt. They were having a Chamber of Commerce kind of meet and greet, and she's going to bring us a special report, talk about how Oceanside small businesses specifically are helping in the limited hand sanitizer that's available. There's not a lot of hand sanitizer left on the shelves. We're going to find out how some local businesses are helping with that.
Cool, so let's hear from Emerald.
Hey guys, thanks so much for having me on your show. I think that what you're doing is really great in being just proactive and trying to get this vital information out here to our business community. So Thank you, Matt and Garrett, so much for doing that. And thank you for the opportunity to just share my perspective as both an Oceanside resident, but also someone who regularly gets to interact with our local business owners here. So just a little update from, the business side of it. The Chamber of Commerce staff has been making hundreds of calls over the past couple weeks, really just to hear, how people have been impacted by COVID-19, where we're seeing business openings and closures and, reductions of hours, layoffs, things like that. So while we're gathering answers, we're working closely with both our city and our county just to make sure that all of our Oceanside businesses have, access to the resources and information they need to get through this crisis. On that note, a number of them, in different industries have reached out to us. So they're definitely in need of your love and support. And those would be, mainly our restaurants, our local wineries and breweries, but also, and people are forgetting about them, our local retailers. So with that, how can you support your local retailer if you can't go shopping right now? You can purchase gift cards from them, but also that applies to our restaurants and breweries where you can't dine in right now. Those that, are able to, they're offering their to-go service or delivery. So I'd encourage you to tip on those orders, even though it's takeout. Those employees are reliant on, that income right now. So your investment in the community is just vital at this time. So while there's a number of businesses that, are doing what they can right now just to survive, I do have to point out a couple that I think are just killing the game right now and making the best of their situation, and just really doing their best to make themselves a huge asset to the community at this time. So those two would be Nicholas Hammond over at Pacific Coast Spirits. He has recently set up a GoFundMe account to make sure his employees are taken care of. So you can go on their website and donate to that. But also they're manufacturing hand sanitizer from their location. So you can purchase that online or on site. Another business that's also making that hand sanitizer is Coomber Craft Wines. The owner, Skip Coomber, is being proactive with him being on a busy street here on Mission Avenue. He recognizes that there is a significant amount of the transient population walking through his street every day. So he's doing his part, and he's making sure he's passing out hand sanitizer to, that population, and making sure he's doing his part to mitigate the spread of this virus in our community. So thank you for what you're doing with that, Skip. And the last plug I'd like to give about him is that his business is partnering with local restaurants in offering date night packages. So you can get dinner for two and a bottle of wine at a pretty reasonable price. You can find menus for, right now it's just Rim Chile and Rosewood Kitchen, but I believe more may be coming soon. And those are posted on their website. So go check them out. A lot of people have been asking, how do I stay informed? They're asking, how they get information on all this in, a really easily digestible format. And the best thing I can tell you is just to go to oceansidecovid-19.com. And that's going to have everything from small business disaster loans up to a full list of restaurants offering those to-go and delivery services. The last thing I want to share on the business side is just that, if you haven't received a call or a visit from, chamber staff yet, but your business has been significantly impacted, please give us a call. We want to hear about your story, regardless if you're a member or not. We want to be, just an asset and a resource to the community during this time. On a more personal note, I would like to, share I was self-quarantining for the past couple weeks. During that time, it was really challenging to try to find my groove in working from home, but also trying to stay, in touch with people and not feel so isolated and disconnected during this time. So a couple ways I was able to do that, Zoom is a platform we utilize more on the business side. But on a personal note, one of my friends recently shared an app with me. It's called House Party. And I thought it was really neat because not only is it a really cool video chatting interface, but also you can be playing games on there and chatting back and forth consistently. So that's a really great way to stay in touch with your loved ones. As well as, Snapchat video. Instagram polls have been really great, and just, staying engaged with people, answering theirs, they're answering mine. So just some fun tips on, how to maintain relationships while we're still social distancing. And I would like to point out, as, I walk my dogs multiple times a day throughout downtown Oceanside, I'm finding a number of people that are just longing for that human connection. So we are still very social creatures, although we're practicing social distancing. And, with that, I've made a lot of great new friends, but from a safe 6-foot distance. So that's been really neat to see as well. And, I just have to end it with saying that, I'm seeing more kindness, more compassion, and more innovation and motivation than ever out of our business community. And I just think it's really great in the direction we're going with that right now. And I hope that that continues after we move past this crisis, because I really think it needs to. So with that, thank you guys again for having me, and thank you for providing this great resource to the community. And I look forward to watching future updates. Thanks.
All right. Thank you, Emerald. And thank you for that detailed kind of special local report. I'm sure a lot of the town here in Oceanside appreciates that.
Yeah, it's cool seeing the community step up.
Yeah. Okay. So this morning I made a detailed video about the stimulus checks that are about to be going out.
Yeah.
I wanted to let people know how they can guarantee that they're at the front of the line. But also, Garrett, you had a little bit of the factual evidence about this stimulus, or you had a little bit of stuff you wanted us to know.
Yeah, just a couple of things. Watch the video to understand how to get it. But to understand this is that the IRS will either directly deposit it into your bank account, or they will mail you a check. They are never going to ask for your bank account information. They're not going to call you. They're not going to text you, and they're not going to email you. If you receive any of those things, that's most likely a scammer, and do not click on any of those links.
Thanks, Garrett.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm sure our elderly will appreciate that.
Yeah.
Possibly the young people watching can let the elderly know that the IRS isn't really subject to call you. So that's a big no-no.
Yeah, they're a little bit too busy to be calling people individually right now.
Yeah, so let's not get scammed out of that money that's coming our way. Cool, so we're moving on to some facts and stats.
Yeah, so coming from around the world, these are coming from Johns Hopkins University and the San Diego Department of Health. Around the world, we have 657,691 cases, 30,438 deaths, and 139,263 have recovered. In the United States, we have 119,748 cases, 1,991 deaths, and only 921 have recovered. In New York, we have 52,318 cases and 728 deaths. In California, our numbers are jumping. We now have 4,956 cases and 104 deaths. San Diego, we've gone up as well. We have 417 cases, and our deaths have doubled. We're now at 6 deaths. In Oceanside, we have 8 cases. In Carlsbad, we have 18 cases. In Vista, we have 6. And in Encinitas, we have 14. So let's take a moment of silence.
Absolutely.
For all those affected by coronavirus.
Our moment of gratitude is going to go out to you guys, the viewers, that are taking the time to not only isolate yourself, but to keep yourself aware of what's going on, because we are a part of this pandemic. And a lot of the awesome conversations that we've started to have, a lot of the virtual groups that are popping up, not just in self-help, but self-care. We really appreciate everyone that's being a part of the online community. We see you, and we're happy that you're a part of this. All right, so Kaelynn Clark is going to be next on the show. She's got a really cool dance video that we're going to go into, and then she has a really nice optimistic view about what's going on in our environment.
Yeah, finding the positives and everything.
Yeah.
Hello, Matthew. Honestly, I don't think it's going to go back to normal right away. I think that it's gonna get worse before it gets better, and that's okay. In the grand scheme of things, our earth is healing, and I think that that's super, super important. I mean, if you look at the waters, if you look at the reports on the news, you can just see how much this earth has been affected by everyone being shut down. So I think that it's a good thing ultimately, and I think that we just have to embrace it and stay healthy mentally, physically, spiritually, whatever you got to do. Get outside. I'm outside right now, going on lots of walks with my dogs, jogging. Don't create an expectation for yourself. Just try to focus on the good rather than the bad, or the positive rather than the negative. And I think that we'll all get through this shortly. I mean, definitely not by then, but I think that within the next 6 weeks, I would say like end of April, beginning of May, things will be smoothly going back to normal. Stay blessed. Love y'all.
So let's bring it back from Kaelynn.
Thanks, Kaelynn.
Yeah, thank you for that report, Kaelynn. What a great mindset for the future.
Absolutely.
All right, so now let's hand it over to our favorite time, Art with Ryler. What do you got for us?
So I was making this painting. It's still in progress. But it will most likely be done and shown on the show the next episode or the episode after that. In counting, we only have 4 spots left for the subscription, and you have to subscribe, come on 4 videos, and make sure you subscribe. Hit that like button, comment.
All right, thanks, Ryler. Yeah, guys, so we only have about 4 spots left, and then we reach our 100 subscribers.
Community's growing.
Yeah, that's really nice. And as we talk about our community growing, our friends Brianna and MJ actually made a PSA of the effects that watching Beyond the Doughnut can have on you and your friends. Yeah. So we see some people getting creative, even a little artistic.
Yeah, in the following clip, it's been validated. It is not fake news.
Yeah, all right. Brianna and MJ, take it away.
Oh, I just really want to eat this banana that I literally just got from the store.
Please don't eat that banana. Oh my gosh, I just watched Garrett and Matt's video today. You have to watch this for 20 seconds.
Okay.
You don't know.
What do I wash it with? I've never washed a banana.
Well, it's been in the grocery store, so many hands have touched it in the store as well.
Oh, they're great.
Yeah, we appreciate it. Okay, so you want to send us out with some words of validation?
Yeah, just continue keeping up the good fight here in Oceanside and San Diego. We're working hard to flatten the curve, and like we said, this is the big week for us. We're gonna if we stay inside and do little, we'll see a big positive impact towards the future.
Yeah, and as we go out, guys, we're gonna send you off with some great words by Chef Boogie Grow. Before that, you're gonna hear this song that's awesome about morality. It's gonna be from Thumpasaurus.
Mental karate, chopping all the bad thoughts. Mental karate, chopping all the bad thoughts. I am so right, and you are so wrong. I hate everybody's so stupid. I am so boring, I am unimportant. Feel trapped in this world, what day is it today? I've never been happy, I am not qualified. She doesn't like me, I'll die if I'm alone. And I do not trust you, cause I am a baby. But I will not fail, my karate will prevail. Mental karate, chopping all the bad thoughts. 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 That thought bubbles up, and then I chop it up. I sprinkle it all over like mental cheese. And it tastes so good when my bad thoughts are understood. Karate chop anxiety and watch it play inside of me. Cause going insane is just a party in the brain. You can have a good time, but baby, don't drink and drive. If you get too far out and you need to come back, just do your daily karate and return to your body. Mental karate, have you exercised properly? Both your mind and your body, have you done your karate? Mental karate, have you exercised properly? Both your mind and your body, have you done your karate? Mental karate, chopping all the bad thoughts. Mental karate, chopping all chop them up and put them in a frame I like. I don't need to deny all the bad thoughts. I want to chop them up and put them in a frame I like. I don't need to deny all the bad thoughts. I want to chop them up and put them in a frame I like.
How y'all doing? It's Mount Corazon, giving you spoken soul poetry, giving a little twist with the singing. So let's see how I be bringing. Shine your light on me, and give me all the things that I need. Shine your light all over me, and give me the things that I see. Shine your light so gracefully, make me understand who I be. Shine your light so tenderly, let me fly like a bird so free. Shine your light so peacefully, for all I am is me. Grace be the one which captures thee, bringing grace and harmony to me. Where I stand, I can feel the light. Here I am with all my might. Walk with the pigeons on my own, for it won't be long till I find my home. Making amends, this is God's sins. All I am is a great friend. Will there be a place for me, where the air is clear so I can breathe? I pray upon my head at night, that my spirit and soul will take its flight. Birds chirping all around me. Is it 'cause I'm divine and holy? Counsel those that are in need. Leaves essence is what I seek. Been out here on my own. The beach is where I hang my throne. Heaven's angels comfort me, blessing me for who I be. I thought if I followed the right path, things would be given to me at last. This life, what a journey, praising homage to the Almighty. If I leave today, I know I'm free. Thank you for here to be with me. Thank you. Another great song.